So I played Bodycam and this is how it turned out. If you haven't heard of this game yet, I'm surprised. Bodycam and especially unrecorded trailers managed to captivate the attention of a lot of people. One might argue that Bodycam took a bit of inspiration from the release trailer of Unrecord, but that's besides the point. The bottom line is that we have one of the best realistic shooters here today for us to enjoy. So what is Bodycam? Developed by two brothers using Unreal Engine 5, it delivers a hyper-realistic experience. Imagine stepping into the boots of a tactical soldier where every decision and movement could mean life or death. The game's minimalistic HUD and blurred faces enhance the realism, pulling you deeper into the action. The body camera perspective isn't just a visual gimmick, it changes how you approach every firefight and maneuver. And yes, when I say the game offers a minimalistic HUD, I mean it. No crosshairs, no health bar, no ammo indicators, nothing. And this is precisely what gives the game its realistic edge. When you dive into it, you're immediately immersed in stunning graphics powered by Unreal Engine. Pair that with a Bodycam style fisheye lens view, and of course the absence of the usual visual clutter from the overloaded HUDs, and you've got yourself a recipe for a hyper-realistic first-person shooter. If you're really scrutinizing, you can still see the game beneath these realistic playthroughs, but I must say, it is a challenge, because the player camera choice isn't just for aesthetics. With a slight fisheye effect, objects appearing at the rounded corners of the lens are slightly out of focus, blurry, and lacking in detail. In today's world, many of us are familiar with the fisheye lenses and know what to expect from them. Bodycam takes full advantage of this familiarity, using it to its benefit. But cameras and graphics aren't the only factors that make a game great. The weapons, actions, and game modes play a crucial role in the overall experience. Speaking of weapons, there aren't that many choices at the moment. You've got an MP4, an AK-style rifle, an SMG, and a shotgun, plus a few pistols that you hardly have time to use in this fast-paced game. By the time you switch to a pistol, you're probably already down. At least, that's been my experience. Every action is taxing, so you have to choose your path carefully. You can crouch, but you won't be moving any faster if you try to sprint while crouched. You can sprint, but it takes a moment for your character to get moving. It's quite realistic in that sense. These elements might not be the first things that comes to mind when discussing a shooter game, but they make a world of difference. You'll often hear your character breathing heavily while moving, which can be unnerving, especially when you're just starting out and already stressed trying to survive. You'll also bleed, move slower, or scream in pain if wounded. Now look, I'm not a hardcore FPS gamer, but I've played my fair share of CSGO, Apex Legends and the like, so I can make an informed comparison. And right off the bat I can confidently say that the weapons feel real-er. Moving left and right with the mouse lets you point your weapon around the corners during entry, and the lack of crosshairs and the fluid motion of moving the whole hand with the mouse makes aiming kind of a challenge. Sure, you can right-click to look down the sights, but it takes a moment to get into position and a split second can cost you the round. If you're getting shot in close quarters, 9 times out of 10 you're going to meet your maker. Not only is there no health bar, but bullets, as it turns out, do a lot of damage in a more realistic scenario. Light and sound also play a critical role in Bodycam. You'll find yourself questioning your decisions. Should I use the flashlight to see in this pitch black room and potentially reveal my position? Or should I trust my headphones and hope for the best? As the game progresses and more rounds pass, you'll eventually experience the mesmerizing day and night cycle. This transition isn't abrupt. It's a smooth, almost poetic shift from light to darkness. Picture this. You're walking through a familiar room, one you've passed by a million times, and suddenly, something sparkles in the distance. Your first instinct? Enemy alert, of course. But as you get closer, you realize that it's just the sunlight reflecting off a mirror or a glass. Equally dangerous when the sun rises, its harsh rays can betray your position if you're hiding in the shadows. These dynamic lighting changes force you to constantly rethink your strategy. Positioning is crucial, and choosing a spot to camp might not be the best idea. Rapidly moving from cover to cover can be equally dangerous, as your footsteps might give away your location. In addition to the day and night cycle, you'll also encounter varying weather conditions like rain and snow. Depending on the map, these elements can either be a minor nuisance or a significant gameplay factor. If you're like me and tend to dive headfirst into the game without reading the instructions, don't worry, this game has got you covered. There's a training mode available where you can get acquainted with the mechanics before jumping into the real action. The training map is a simple maze-like wooden structure that loops continuously from start to finish. Here you can try out the limited variety of weapons, checking their range and recoil, practice clearing rooms without endangering hostages, if you can of course, and basically get a feel for your character. One thing that initially threw me off was the reloading process. The animation happens naturally at arm's level, but while you're focused on scanning your surroundings and staying alert and alive, it's easy to miss when you're actually done with reloading. You have to pay close attention to the subtle sounds of the magazine clicking into place, so ideally you'd play this game with headphones on. I have a habit of reloading after firing just a single bullet, and without a HUD, keeping track of your ammo is a challenge. This game forced me to break that habit and become much more mindful of my ammo count. And let me tell you, there's no better teacher than getting caught in the middle of a firefight while you're fumbling with a reload. It's a harsh but effective lesson that will whip your bad habits into shape real quick. And it doesn't stop here. Bodycam introduces a fresh and innovative approach for players who find themselves on the losing end more frequently, offering them an engaging activity rather than just waiting and watching their teammates until the round ends. Even in death, you can still remain a valuable asset to your team and provide significant support. When you die, you transition from your mortal human flesh body into a high-tech machine. You become a drone. As a drone, you have the freedom to fly pretty much everywhere on the map, but skill is still required. If you crash into a wall, the drone will stop functioning. However, with careful navigation, you can scout ahead and alert your teammates to enemy positions. The drone offers several modes: night vision, daylight mode, and a flashlight, each useful in different scenarios. My extensive experience with drones, indicative of my frequent in-game deaths, has proven how beneficial they can be, especially during nighttime operations. Imagine a tense 2v2 scenario. It might actually be strategic for one player to rush in and attempt to clear a room, knowing that death is pretty much imminent, so they can become a drone. And as a drone, you can use night vision to scout the area ahead for your teammates, and once you locate an enemy, you can spam the flashlight to reveal their position. Drones aren't overpowered, a single shot can decommission them. However, in tight situations, if an enemy decides to shoot at a drone, they risk revealing their own position. The muzzle flash acts as a temporary flashlight, if you will, giving away their location to your teammates. This drone mechanic not only keeps eliminated players engaged, but also adds a strategic layer to the game. You have to consider whether sacrificing yourself for the benefit of becoming a drone might be a worthwhile tactic, adding depth and excitement to every match. It ensures that every player, alive or dead, has a crucial role in the outcome of the game, maintaining high levels of engagement and teamwork throughout the match. If you do manage to die as a drone, you're then presented with a unique perspective of the afterlife, just sitting in the backseat watching POV footage of your teammates playing. But given how stunningly beautiful this game is, this experience is almost identical to watching an action movie. The realistic graphics and immersive gameplay makes even the spectator mode a thrilling experience as you watch your teammates fight on. And I believe that's a wrap on the Bodycam gameplay. This game is a real game changer for first-person shooters with its super realistic graphics and unique features, and whether you're alive and fighting or using a drone to help your team after you've been taken out, there's always something to do. The lack of traditional HUD, the day and night cycles, and the ability to scout as a drone adds layers of strategy. It's not about shooting, it's also about thinking, planning, and working with your team. The graphics are so good that even watching your teammates feels like you're in an action movie. If you haven't tried Bodycam yet, it currently has a 10% discount on Steam, so it might be the right time for you to give it a shot. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit that like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing for more videos. See you in the next one.